Hello there, you guys. Welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. This is currently my third video now. I'm currently doing today. I do really about 2 or 3 videos a day, as you all currently are aware of. So I've basically just gone online and I've just predicted, possibly Manchester United's 11 for next season, of course, as well, because obviously it's essential that Manchester United, get the right players this summer. And now obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been appointed Manchester United manager on a full-time basis. It's very, very essential that we get the right players, and hopefully, we can, it can get us back to being a competitive elite level football club as well. And obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has identified, he thinks, the key areas where Manchester United need to strengthen up. Obviously, the priority is the right winner. So I think his priority is to get a right winner to Manchester United. Of course, he has been in regular, contact, with Ed Woodward, about what players should come in, what players should go in this summer. I think Solskjaer, wants to get rid of around 3 players at least this summer, of course, as well. Obviously, there's still some contract renewals to sort out as well, but there's still some players, that potentially do need to step up. Of course, we do obviously know when Sanchez, recovers from his injury, he's obviously, when he gets the opportunity, he has to step up, of course, as well, because we do know how inconsistent Alexis Sanchez has been. But I think he's out till April with a knee injury, of course, as well, because when he has played, he has looked so restricted. It just looks as though he hasn't been getting the freedom, and he hasn't fitted under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's system, as we all know, as well. But potentially, he could possibly leave in the summer, even though we know it's going to be hard, to find a buyer for Sanchez this summer, of course, considering his substantial amount of wages. Obviously the highest paid player in the Premier League, of course, as well. So if we are to get rid of him in the summer, if he doesn't improve, when he recovers from this injury, we may consider loaning him out, or unless Sanchez is willing to take a wage cut or something like that. The majority of the team have performed really, really well under Solskjaer. We've had a good 3-month period under him so far. The results have been very, very good, indeed, as we all know, as well. So you can see the vast improvements in Solskjaer's coming, with with improved defensively, as well. I think another player, that needs to step up to the plate is obviously, Fred, as well, who I haven't actually mentioned, for a long time. Obviously, he does have strong reservations about his game time, Fred, and let's be honest, he hasn't really been given the opportunity, Fred, since he's come to Manchester United. Of course, we got him last summer from Shakhtar Donetsk, was it around £50 million or something like that? We did pay for him because obviously he's a fringe player, and I'm not too sure if he's a long-term solution, to be quite honest with you, Fred, as well. But he's definitely a player, that needs to step up to the plate, because obviously we know Manchester United have had a string of injuries, and all that. We know players are now starting to recover from injury, which is very, very good. But obviously, when we had them injuries, especially in our midfield, and when, Solskjaer gave opportunities to Andres Pereira, of course, and, what's his name, Scott McTominay, where I think they really were impressive indeed. They played between the lines well, they were playing them precise passes, of course, as well. And Andres Pereira, obviously, we've activated a 12-month extension, I think, on his contract. I think Solskjaer is keen on still getting him a long-term contract at Manchester United, Andres Pereira, of course, well, because he has still got a lot of years ahead of him, of course, well. But when actually Andres Pereira was on loan, was it in La Liga, if I can remember rightly? I can't remember what teams were he at. Was it Granada and what it Valencia, if I can remember rightly? He was getting first team football, week in, week out. When Scott McTominay has been playing, he's also, been very, very impressive, indeed, of course. But there is still some players, that do need to step up for the play. Obviously, now that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got the Manchester United job on a full-time basis, now this is the tester for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, because he has been enjoying, managing Manchester United, of course, as well. It's been a fantastic experience for him so far. He's been enjoying working, and he's been enjoying working with the coaching staff, the players, and all that, as well. He's settled in very, very well at Manchester United, and it's good, that he's give everybody the chance to express themselves and prove themselves, and all that, as well. He has give everybody the chance, including the young players, the fringe players. I'm really, really happy, that the young players are gaining Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's trust, which is very, very good, indeed. But we do know now he's permanent Manchester United manager, of course, which is very, very good. And I do believe, he can, get us back to the way we was under Alex Ferguson, of course, as well, because we had 27 great years under Alex Ferguson. When he departed, we've been playing catch up for the last 5 years or so. We do know overall a lot of money is being spent at Manchester United. We've had different managers, with different philosophies, since Alex Ferguson left. But I think now, obviously, we didn't invest in the January transfer window, as we all know, as well. So obviously, Solskjaer now is in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team, of course, as well. So I think he wants to bring about I think he wants to bring about 3 or 4 new additions to the club in the summer as well. But we do know players are going to leave Manchester United in the summer as well. But I think obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said, he was a great player for 11 years at Manchester United, as we all know, as well. Great player he was for 11 years at United. Won loads of trophies, scored loads and loads of goals. One of his most iconic moments, obviously, was back in 1999. Obviously, when he won the treble. That was obviously 20 years ago, of course. Now, as we all currently know, as well. But as I did say, I do believe he can take us forward and he can get us back to being a competitive elite level level football club, and hopefully, you know, he can get the right signs in the summer and get us back up there competing and challenging and also winning trophies as well, you know, which is very, very essential indeed, guys, as we all currently know. So obviously, I think Solskjaer, as I said, you know, obviously his annual salary is going to be 7.5 million. His annual salary is going to be 7.5 million, as we all know. It's a 3-year deal, as we all know. He's currently signed. So obviously, this is a big, you know, pay rise for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, compared to what he was on at his former club at Molde, because he was on like £400,000 a year with Molde as well. But the good news is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is obviously going to be earning more than Liverpool's Jurgen Klopp. He's going to be earning more than Chelsea's Maurizio Sarri, and he's going to be earning more than Arsenal's Unai Emery, of course, as well. But he's happy to accept a lower wage package than Jose Mourinho, because also, as we all know, Jose Mourinho was on 15 million a year. So Solskjaer is happy to, you know, Solskjaer is happy to receive half the wages than what currently Jose Mourinho was currently on as well. But obviously, as I did say, I've just got a lineup here who you know, this could be our possible lineup, you know, for next season, of course, as well, because obviously I think Solskjaer's keen on bringing a right back to Manchester United. As I said, I think he's keen on, you know, adding depth in that midfield, you know, especially if Herrera does leave Manchester United. Of course, his priority is to get a right winner to Manchester United this summer, of course, as well. But recent reports, guys, have actually, you know, currently said that reportedly, you know, Solskjaer has told Ed Woodward that reportedly he wants the young English prospects. So reportedly he's told Ed Woodward that he wants reportedly Crystal Palace's Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he wants West Ham's Declan Rice, and reportedly he wants Borussia Dortmund's Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. So Solskjaer wants England's hottest prospects this summer, of course, as well. Reports did say they could cost us around £170 million in total. We know Solskjaer's going to get a spending spree of over £200 million to spend this summer. So we have got a board that can invest, you know, who Solskjaer wants to bring to Manchester United, of course, as well. But we will start, you know, with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So I'll do it now. I'll show you the lineup, which this could be our possible lineup, you know, for the new season, of course. Well, then we'll get into more detail. So I'll show you now. Let's just it's just on here. So there you go. That could be a possible lineup, you know, for next season, of course, because obviously 3 top targets reportedly. He's told Ed Woodward that reportedly wants Aaron Wan-Bissaka, as you can see there at right back. He wants Declan Rice, of course. You know, he can play as a centre back, but I think he's mainly a holding midfielder with Declan Rice. And you can see there Jadon Sancho on the right wing, of course. Obviously, you know, the club's top priority target, of course, as well. So that could be our possible lineup, you know, for next season. That is actually a 4-3-3 formation. So you look there, you've got, wait, let me get to the You've got De Gea there in goal. You know, you've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. You've got Smalling and Lindelof there as a centre back partnership, who mainly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has obviously, you know, been going with, as we all know, since Smalling's recovered from injury. To be fair, they have blended in, you know, fantastically well. You know, you've got Luke Shaw there at left back. Then you've got the midfield trio of Pogba, Matic, and Declan Rice. To be fair, well, I may be wrong about Paul Pogba, because, you know, Pogba could be going to Real Madrid in the summer, but we're not too sure yet. Martial there on the left, Jadon Sancho on the right, and Marcus Rashford. Well, you could actually put maybe Lingard on the left, because Lingard's a winner. He can also actually, you know, play as an attacking midfielder as well, you know, can Jesse Lingard. So I think that could be possibly the lineup for next season, of course, as well, because obviously his 3 top targets reportedly is Jadon Sancho, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and of course, you know, West Ham's Declan Rice, as we all know, as well. So I just wanted to show you that. But as I did say, that's the lineup. I think that could be our possible lineup for the new season. But as I was saying to you guys, you know, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I think he's good right back reportedly. He's valued at around £48 million, as we all know, as well. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Obviously, I think, in my own opinion, it'd be a good upgrade, you know, for Valencia and Ashley Young and all that, because obviously I think we do need someone young and ambitious on that right-hand side, because we've got Valencia, who's on his way out of the club in the summer. Obviously, he's been here 10 years at Manchester United. Of course, he just recovered from a calf injury, as we all know. But obviously, we've opted against that decision to trigger that 1-year extension. He comes to an end of his contract at the end of the season. And of course, Valencia is 33, so he's past it now anyway, and he's initially lost his place in the team. You've got Young. Probably Young may not leave in the summer. I'm not too sure, to be quite honest with you. He'll probably leave when, you know, his 1-year contract term extension, you know, expires, because by the time that expires, Young will be nearly 35 years of age, of course, and he's been one of the longest serving players here. Over the years, he has been a strength. He's been here, 7-8 years now, as Ashley Young, of course, as well. So potentially we do need a right back. Solskjaer's identified Aaron Wan-Bissaka, however you pronounce his surname, as a good candidate, as well. I think his defensive capabilities are very, very good. Obviously, he's only 21 years of age, so he's very, very young, indeed. And obviously, there all upcoming players, you know, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Declan Rice, and Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. But Aaron Wan-Bissaka, reportedly, so far, spent the entirety of his career, you know, with Crystal Palace, as we all know. He's up their youth system, must have done for about 8 or 9 years or something like that. I think he's been in the senior team a couple of years now, even though he made his senior debut in February of last year as well. You know, did Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but reportedly Crystal Palace value him at around £40 million, of course, as well. I've been updating you on Declan Rice, as I did say, as well, because reportedly Solskjaer's identified 3 tags, and he's one of the priorities, as well as Declan Rice. He's a West Ham player, of course. Reportedly this season, his performances at West Ham have been very, very impressive indeed. You know, Declan Rice. Declan Rice, he's what, 20 years of age, I think, is he? Yes, so he's still very, very young. He's got a contract with West Ham till 2024, as we all know as well. I think he's mainly holding midfielders, to quite honest here, but I think he can operate as a centre back as well. And obviously, obviously we've got, obviously we saw Fellaini leave in January. You've got Matic, who's obviously a centre defensive midfielder, but obviously we have got strong reservations about Matic, even though he has improved. Matic has improved, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in. His distribution's improved, he's looked more effective in his passing and all that, and he's fitted in that midfield trio very, very well. Obviously, the Nemanja Matic, of course, as well, but I've got reservations about him, of course. He's aging up and all that as well, so I did say in my own opinion that we do need a centre defensive mid, but if Herrera is to leave especially, I think Solskjaer's keen on bringing a central midfielder into Manchester United, of course, as well. But Declan Rice is a West Ham player, he's 20 years of age, of course. I think it was last year signed this new deal with West Ham till 2024. I think he's valued at around £40 million, as well as Declan Rice. But I think, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Declan Rice and Jadon Sancho have the ability, they're young, they have the ability, to elevate Manchester United in the next 2 to 3 years, in my own opinion, as I said. But we do know the number one target is obviously Borussia Dortmund's Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. Really, really good player. He's one of England's youngest upcoming prospects, as well, is Jadon Sancho. Of course, we know he's mainly a winner is Jadon Sancho, of course, well, but he shows that ability to attack. He can score goals and all that as well, can Jadon Sancho. We need someone that can, play between the bylines, put crosses into the box. And I do think, Jadon Sancho, can do this, to be quite honest with him as well. We do know he's going to cost us quite a bit of money in the summer, but obviously we've got the financial power, to meet his valuation, of course, as well, Jadon Sancho's. Manchester United could still end up paying a 9-figure sum of around £100 million to get him this summer, of course, as well, even though that's what probably Borussia Dortmund, will be demanding if he is for sale. But Manchester United, still believe we can land him for around £80 million. It's also said PSG have been interested, but he's attracted interest, from quite a few teams across Europe, based on his fantastic performances in Germany so far with Dortmund. And I think this is his second season now, is it his third season or something like that, with Borussia Dortmund as well. He's just turned 19 years of age not too long ago as well. Jadon Sancho broke into the England first team last year, of course, as well. So obviously he's the club's number one priority target as well, but he's still got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. Obviously the former Manchester City player as well, where he served a couple of years, never broke into the first team, never got guaranteed to play regularly amongst the first team, and that this is the main reason he left City and went to Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund, don't forget, have been known, for doing business with their players as well, but Borussia Dortmund only paid, £8 million for him from Manchester City a couple of years ago, as we all know, as well. But it'd be a great addition to Manchester United. I think Jadon Sancho's the solution to Manchester United's problems without a shadow of a doubt. He's young, he's also English as well, and I think he complement our team very, very well indeed. So potentially Borussia Dortmund willing to sanction him off this summer. And as I did say, either way, it's essential that we've got to get Champions League football for next season. In terms, why? Because obviously in that way, we'll invest money, and and obviously we'll have a more competitive summer transfer window as well. Definitely, we're still in the race for the top 4. There's quite a few teams going for it, of course, as well. Obviously wants to play to the highest level, so he wants to be in Champions League football as well. But Manchester United have been heavily linked to him, of course, and if we were to get him, he'd be making the most expensive English footballer ever, of course, as well. So as I'm fully aware of at the moment, they are Solskjaer's top 3 targets, because he's obviously urged Ed Woodward, that he wants, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Declan Rice, and Jadon Sancho, of course, well. So I think they are the 3 top targets. So I do think Solskjaer wants about 3 or 4 players this summer. We've got a good team. We just need quite a few players, to come in if we are going to be potentially title contenders for the new season, of course, as well. And as I have been updating, that's obviously, been going on in the media today. Obviously, there are a lot of reports going on about it last week is in relation to Paul Pogba, of course, as well. And there's been a lot of rumours going on, that he could possibly be making a move to Real Madrid this summer, because reports have been coming out from Spain saying that reportedly it's been revealed that he's made a decision on his Manchester United future, and Paul Pogba is not intending on spending the rest of his playing career in England, of course, as well. I think Paul Pogba's still, 26 years of age, or something like that, as well. But a lot of reports have been coming out from Spain saying that reportedly he's not planning to spend the rest of his playing career in England, and reportedly wants to leave Manchester United this summer. Does Paul Pogba as well, even though we know he's been one of our most influential players since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, of course, as well. He's mainly been getting that freedom to express himself. He's been playing in delicate passes, he's been providing well, he's been scoring goals well, and when he's played in that kind of vein, he's a player that can be on 12 to 15 goals a season, of course, as well, Paul Pogba. But recent reports have said of what he's been saying about Real Madrid, classing them as a dream club and all that. He described them as a dream club. He admits playing, at Real Madrid for Zinedine Zidane, would be a dream for him and all this. And he did say Real Madrid is a dream for anyone, and this is what Paul Pogba has basically, been saying. His representative, Raiola, has obviously, been in the process, of finding him a new club, as well. But I think Manchester United will not let him go this summer, and Manchester United are reportedly, if any offers do come for Pogba in the summer, Manchester United, will reject these offers, of course, as well. But I think Real Madrid are the front runners, to get Paul Pogba, of course, as well. In the process, we know Paul Pogba is still under contract with Manchester United till 2021, as we all know. So he's still got over 2 years left on his deal at the moment. Reports have been saying that Paul Pogba has turned down a contract offer from Manchester United, of course, as well. But I think he's intending on making a move to Real Madrid. There's been talks of him possibly making a return, back to Juventus in Italy, as well, because obviously he did have 4 good years with Juventus, did Paul Pogba, of course, as well. But as I did currently say, there's been a lot of talks, going on about it. Reports are now coming out saying that Pogba, if he is to go to Real Madrid, is demanding that he wants an annual wage of around 14 million. Obviously, this is a year, of course, so he wants around 14 million. This would make him the highest paid player at Real Madrid, of course, as well. And obviously, he's demanding a significant pay rise, because I think he's on about 8 million sum a year at Manchester United at the moment, as well. But obviously, Paul Pogba would have left by now. If Jose Mourinho would have still been here, because obviously Paul Pogba didn't really get the opportunity under Mourinho. Paul Pogba had a bad relationship, with Jose Mourinho, and all that, as well. And obviously, I think Real Madrid were linked with Paul Pogba back in 2016, as well. But as they currently say, yeah. They were linked to him back in 2016, but obviously we got him for £89 million, of course, our most expensive signing. So basically, reports now coming out saying that Real Madrid are preparing to put a bid in of around £125 million for Paul Pogba. Obviously, if Manchester United decided to put him up for sale and all that, and he was still refusing to commit to a new contract at United, he wouldn't be up for sale for £125 million. He's worth more. Obviously, it cost probably Real Madrid more than £125 million, to get Paul Pogba and all that as well. Zinedine Zidane himself is a big admirer of the player. Zinedine Zidane's reportedly getting around 300 odd million to spend this summer, because this is what Florentino Perez is giving him, and he's identified quite a few targets. He'd like to bring in, Zinedine Zidane, of course, as well. Obviously, his second spell in charge of Real Madrid. He's under contract with Madrid till 2022, as we all know as well. But he's got a few targets on his mind. I think Real Madrid have showed an interest in Liverpool's Sadio Mane. Obviously, they've been long admirers of Chelsea's Eden Hazard, of course, as well. So obviously, he's planning for an investment this summer is Zinedine Zidane, of course, as well. But there's been a lot of rumours going on about Paul Pogba, of course, as well. Today, reports have been coming out saying that Real Madrid are preparing to put £125 million bid in for him, of course, as well. And obviously, in relation to Ander Herrera, I've been giving you an update on Ander. I actually do hope Ander Herrera remains loyal to Manchester United, and I hope he signs a new contract with Manchester United. I know Manchester United are in talks of trying to get Ander Herrera a new contract at the club, as well. Obviously, this is his 5th season now in the process with Manchester United, Ander Herrera's, and he's been a very, very consistent player. Maybe he has suffered some rough patches, so far during his playing tenure with Manchester United, but since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming, he's been very consistent. His defensive capabilities have been good. He's a good ball playing midfielder. He's been breaking up the play very, very well indeed as Amanda Herrera. So if I'm going to be honest with you, I've been very, very impressed with his performances indeed, Amanda Herrera's. This is his 5th season now, not forgetting the process with Manchester United, of course. He comes to an end of his contract at the end of this season. Recent reports have basically said that reportedly PSG have expressed an interest in Amanda Herrera. It did reportedly say, I think this is Thomas Tuchel's first season with PSG. He wants investment as well. He's looking for someone, to partner up with Marco Verratti in PSG's midfield, of course, as well as obviously Adrien Rabiot's looking likely. He's on his way out of PSG this summer, of course, as well. So reportedly PSG did reportedly say PSG are willing to offer Amanda Herrera wages of around £150,000 a week, and a 3-year deal, of course, as well. But I think Amanda Herrera is demanding, that he wants a wage increase, either way. But hopefully he can remain loyal to Manchester United, of course, as well. It also said that Arsenal were interested in Amanda Herrera as well. But for me, I think his future's up in the air at the moment. I think he's unsure about his Man United future. So I don't know what's happening. I think he still may want to stay and he wants to sign a contract extension with Manchester United as well. So I think, but even some reports did say, he's close to joining Paris Saint-Germain, of course, as well. But if he was to leave, Solskjaer would definitely want to recommend a central midfielder, to come into Manchester United, of course, as well. And not too long ago, he's just recovered from a hamstring injury, as well as Amanda Herrera. So basically, there's been talks about that, as you're all aware of, going on as well. But as Dick was saying, the targets Manchester United being interesting is obviously, being Napoli's Koulibaly. Our pursuit of Koulibaly, could be in jeopardy now. A summer move for Koulibaly now could be in jeopardy. I think he's going to be for sale in the summer, Koulibaly. Even though I heard reports, not too long ago saying that partly Manchester United being informed, if we've got any chances of landing him, it's going to cost Man United in the region at least £130 million. The Metro said it could cost us maybe at least £150 million. To get Koulibaly and all that as well. But I think now, at the moment, Solskjaer's got other alternative targets on his mind, of course, as well. But Koulibaly, Man United have been long admirers of the player, as we all know, as well, because he's a world-class central defender, and we need someone that can partner alongside Victor Lindelof in our team as well. And Koulibaly would be fantastic indeed. Shows that ability to play off the back. He's good in the air. He's 27. Still got a lot of years ahead of him, to be quite honest with you, as well. But he's still under contract with Napoli till 2023. Napoli only paid note next to note for him. They only paid £7 million for him from Genk, back in 2014 as well. So he's been at Napoli a number of years now as well, and he's performed, really, really well indeed as Koulibaly. We didn't get him in January, of course, because we had 3 bids in the process turned down for him. The recent one was a staggering £95 million. We had turned down for Koulibaly as well. So he could be now a summer move for Koulibaly now could be in jeopardy, reportedly, as well. But Manchester United being heavily linked to him. We need someone that can come in and address our defensive deficiencies, and Koulibaly would be the perfect candidate, of course, and it would be good for him to come and experience the Premier League as well. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It's quite nice. But if it was to get him, obviously it'd make him the most expensive defender in world football as well. Manchester United still Manchester United, still obviously possibly targeting, Leicester City's Harry Maguire, and I've been giving you an update regularly on Harry Maguire, because recent reports do say that obviously Leicester wouldn't want to lose him, but reports were saying that Leicester are demanding a price tag of around £90 million if Manchester United have got any chance of getting him this summer. So that means obviously Manchester United we've got to break our transfer record if we have got any chance of getting Harry Maguire this summer. And of course, well, obviously Manchester United were linked with Harry Maguire last summer, but we failed in our pursuit of getting the player of course as well. So we remain loyal to Leicester. He has been talking about recently, about wanting to play in Champions League football, playing to the highest level, going to a team that can win trophies and is capable of challenging for trophies and all that as well. And Man United are capable of doubling his wages and all that. Initially was valued at around 65 was it 75 million pounds, Harry Maguire of course as well. And he is English. He's 26 years of age, as we all know as well. So he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. He's been at Leicester a couple of seasons now. He's under contract with Leicester till 2023. He signed a 5-year deal last season, did Harry Maguire of course as well. So he's been a potential Manchester United target as we all know as well. So there's been a few targets, Manchester United have been interesting, as I have actually, been updating you on a regular basis. But I think the top 3, as I keep saying, is Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Declan Rice, and Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. And if we've brought them 3 players in, I think they've got the ability and they're capable of elevating us in the next couple of years or so as well. So maybe it will be either 3 players we're getting, or it will be 4 players we're getting, of course. But the board will Gunnar Solskjaer this summer. We've got a board that can invest. Hopefully, we can get the right players to come to Manchester United, of course, as well. So I've been updating, on a lot of the transfer rumours, that have been going on and all that as well. Obviously, we've got a game tomorrow against Watford at Old Trafford. Obviously, it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 20th game in all competitions. Obviously, this is his first game as manager. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game as permanent manager, of course, as well for Manchester United. It's Watford at Old Trafford, of course. Watford are in pretty decent form, to be quite honest. Javier Gracie's side, are in pretty decent form. They'll obviously be thinking more of the FA Cup semi-final against Wolves with Watford, of course, as well. But obviously, Manchester United have got to win. We've got to get back to winning ways, to get that more and back, that confidence back in the team after suffering back-to-back defeats, before the international break, of course, as well. But the good news is we've got a host of players, set to return, for the game tomorrow as well. It is a 3 o'clock kickoff, as I've already give you an update on that as well. So I won't be watching it because it won't be televised, and I don't think I can get a live stream on it, guys, to be quite honest with you, as well. And obviously, as we all know, I'm not too sure what's happening with Lukaku, to be quite honest, because he's been out with an ankle injury. Obviously, had to withdraw from international duty like quite a few other players did as well. And most recently, he's regained his position in the team as Romelu Lukaku, and I think he looks effective. When he's getting that support up front, Lukaku he can get them runs in, them sprints in behind him and all that. But he's not reliable enough, when he's playing up top on his own, Romelu Lukaku. But I have reservations about him. Don't get me wrong. He's slow. His first touch concerns me, but he can still finish and he can still score goals. Lukaku, because most recently he's been in good form. He's regained his position in the team. So I'm not too sure if Lukaku is gonna play tomorrow, but obviously overall he's got a really good pedigree in the Premier League and all that as well, in terms of scoring goals and all that. But we'll see what happens anyway. But I think he's got an ankle injury, so I think he's a major doubt. To be quite honest with you as well. I know the likes of Valencia, Eric Bay, and I think Darmian are all available, but I don't think any of them will be playing. I think Lingard's going to return as well. Rashford's obviously going to be available, which is good. Matic is also going to be available as well, which is also very very good news as well. But yeah, hopefully Manchester United can win tomorrow. Watford are sitting 8th in the league, of course. After Watford, 3 days later we go to Wolves away, of course. We've got to perform better at Wolves away coming up in the league, than we did do in the FA Cup, because the performance in the FA Cup, was totally appalling. And as I did say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he was disappointed, with the link-up play in that game and all that. He was disappointed with a lot of the players' performances, and that's probably got to be that's the worst performance so far under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, was that Wolves game in the FA Cup, if I'm going to be quite honest with you as well. Very, very disappointed. I think we struggled to create chances. We couldn't break Wolves down. Wolves looked very, very good on the counter-attack, as we all know. Raul Jimenez played well for them. Diego Jota in that game, played well for them and all that as well. So we're totally on the back foot in that game as well. Pogba wasn't good in that game either. He wasn't effective in that game either. I think Rashford was poor against Wolves in the cup. Rashford, but I don't think Rashford was getting enough support. I don't think he was getting enough support. I don't think Lingard and Martial, were giving Rashford enough support, if I'm going to be quite honest with you, of course, as well. So hopefully we can get revenge on them in the league, Wolves. But obviously now we're focusing on the game tomorrow against Watford, of course, as well. The fixture last season was 1-0 to Manchester United. Of course, we've actually won our last 4 games against Watford, as we all know, as well. So we've got to get back to winning ways tomorrow, and of course we've got to win to keep our top 4 ambitions alive. At the moment, we sit 2 points behind Arsenal. We're in 5th. We're 2 points behind Arsenal. We're 3 points behind Tottenham in 3rd position as well. So we've got to win. We have to win tomorrow, of course, as well. So I'll just show you again, my predicted possible lineup. It's not good. It's obviously not guaranteed it's going to be the lineup, for next season, but it's a prediction, and it could possibly be our lineup for next season. This is the 11. I'm going to show you again. I showed you at the beginning of the video, of course, as well. Sorry about that bloody light. I apologise. So there you go. You've got De Gea, you've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Smalling, Lindelof, Luke Shaw. This is possible lineup for next season. Pogba, Matic, Declan Rice. You've got Martial on the left, Jadon Sancho on right, and Rashford playing centrally up top as well. So there you go. So drop your comments, likes below on the channel, guys. If you do consider subscribing to the channel as always, and as I did say, me including myself, because I'm a Manchester United fan, and every Manchester United fan will be delighted now that finally Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has landed the job permanently. As I did say, it was going to be a matter of time, because initially Manchester United anyway wanted to announce it, before the end of this month, of course, as well. So I do think Manchester United have made the right decision, of course. Obviously there will be talk, if we, now if we don't beat Watford, if we don't get a victory against Wolves and all that, you know, then possibly, you know, we may be having a different conversation. Was it a mistake, Manchester United, you know, appointing him full time? Of course, well, but I think he's done more than enough, you know, and he's got the job now. You know, what's the most essential thing indeed. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel.